What commitment to the takedown. He's a world-class wrestler. Deep underhook there on the right. Soldic did go down to the canvas momentarily, but then popped right back up. Let's see what Pietrzak can do off the wire here. Short knees, I think, could open something for him.
Oh, they're thumping great big knees. Soldic doesn't like it. Tries to stop that work going on there. Pietrzak in a good place here. Soldic tried to put too much weight on the shots early on, didn't he? Just looked maybe to finish it too quickly, make a statement. You know, you've stepped up to do this. Tries a little hip throw, but there's a little bit of damage to the right eye of Pietrzak. Soldic now has that look in his eye, and that's the look of a man possessed. He really does go to town with this. This is going to be a festival of fury if Soldic has his own way here. So, a firefight in prospect now between these two.
Two things. Soldic definitely just cracked him with that left, and prior to that, used the clinch very neatly to fake the throw and then push his way back out. He went one way and then went backwards. Oh man, he's swinging for the fences here, Will.
Absolutely, they're too big, the shot. Soldic needs to calm himself down and go back to some solid work. He's allowing Pietrzak in, and Pietrzak taking advantage, and there's the up and over, and down he goes. What an upset here. Soldic, though, back up. Well, up and down like a stripper's booty, dare I say it. Soldic here tonight, and that wasn't on the cards. And there's a look about Soldic now, which is, hang on a second. This guy's come to do business.
Pietrzak is looking to breathe here. But the thing is, you can't freeze in front of the RoboCop. He's way too accurate from the outside. That's the mistake that Kajabowski, amongst others, have made. And Kajabowski was billed as a striker going into this, who promised to stand. I don't think Pietrzak wants to do that. You got to give credit where credit is due, though. Once he's had that takedown, once he's had a hold of him, he's been super committed. The reshot's been there. Try to make the most of it, but you also got to give credit to Soldic. He's been able to get back up twice. Ooh, listen to that kick.
You cannot get lazy with the strikes against a wrestler with the skill sets that Pietrzak brings to this. I have to say, Pietrzak looks more and more confident here, and Soldic having to kind of revert to a plan B here. It wasn't going to be all over in the first round. There's a minute and a half left in this first. He may have to take his time and do a little bit more work. And that left hand of Pietrzak constantly working, constantly causing problems. And Soldic just really wants to get in there and do some damage quick. Those hands are heavy and they're hard, and he's landed the left there, straight in and straight out. A shorter, more accurate shot.
Nice straight left there. He was wheeling for the uppercut and then went straight. I like the fact that Soldic is putting the pressure on Pietrzak and trying to punish those takedown attempts, but he doesn't want to get too overzealous here.
Yeah, this is still early doors for Soldic against this guy. He's dangerous, and you know, I think Soldic has realized that. Thought within the first half a minute it would be easy, and that's a nice defense from that single leg takedown from an easy shot, the spinning back fist, but it caught him off balance, and now Pietrzak has him in his office.
This is the thing, he's just got such a great chain wrestling attack. Look at that, gets the ankle pick, ties the legs up, Soldic explodes.
He's back up, he doesn't want to live there, like I said, up and down like a stripper's booty. Soldic doesn't want to live there. Well, it's all going on the inside here. We've got 10 seconds going. Mark Goddard just calling to the corners to stay out. We're on the bell now. What an interesting first round.
Very compelling first round. Pietrzak had a couple of good opportunities. Soldic had, this could be a...
But he is working hard here tonight. Look at some of the action, though. He's landed some shots.
Got to give some credit to Pietrzak. He took some very clean shots. But that's the thing. When
versus a grappler, Roberto Soldic, Michal Pietrzak.
I like the kick to the body there from Soldic, but he needs to set that up because for sure Pietrzak will take one to get a hold. He's proven that several times. Now, the thing is, how long can you last in the face of the heavy artillery of Soldic? That remains to be seen, but thus far he's passed several tests, for sure.
This is a really interesting technique Pietrzak has. He works that left hand, he doesn't do anything with it. He's just spoiling you. The constant movement is all kind of mesmeric. It's Cobra-like, because Soldic is just matching it and unable to get his own shots off. Pietrzak has got very, very good counter moves going on here, and the strategy is nice.
Nice dig to the body from Soldic with that kick. I also like the fact that he's really more prepared now for the kick catch from Pietrzak. Kind of twists his leg and then whips it away, spinning around. He's very, very well trained and very well schooled. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's been training with GSP over in TriStar, so the caliber of training he's had at TriStar, of course, alongside his UFD teammates, has been world-class. But he's dealing with a world-class wrestler. Pietrzak lost by, I believe, 1 point against Damian Janikowski, so that gives you the kind of credibility in his wrestling resume.
Absolutely, and of course he's got much more cage experience and fight experience. But that left hand of his is not stopped working, and it's causing a problem for Soldic. Soldic likes people to stand off and just be ready for him to drop bombs, and Pietrzak is not allowing that. Look, that left hand is working, and he's coming in on the back of a right hand himself. He's dropped his guard against Roberto Soldic. What is going on here?
Soldic is looking for that knockout shot. For sure, Pietrzak is tired, but...
Well, we thought this was going to be a bit of a ground zero event in terms of Soldic coming in and landing some shots here. We're halfway through the second round. Yeah, Pietrzak is blowing a bit. And that really is a dangerous sign, because you don't want to show any weakness, but although he's blowing, he's still knocking the strikes back out and landing right hands on Soldic.
The thing is, though, he hasn't been able to get that true wrestling game going. I mean, he's so good at pinning you and passing the guard and is putting all kinds of pressure. Soldic has not accepted the takedown at this point, and that's been a defining factor of the fight, despite putting himself in some compromising positions by overstepping or being a little bit over-anxious.
Soldic does not like this one bit, does he?
No.
He does not look like this one bit.
He wants out of there.
Yeah, his face looks like he's licked Mr. T's armpit. He does not like this at all. He wants to knock this guy out. Get this guy in front of me so I can bang him down. But listen to the crowd here tonight, because he's not playing ball, Pietrzak. Pietrzak is standing and trading with the ultimate KO artist. And Soldic now really has to go and put a shift in. Well, it could be we're entering dangerous territory. 3/4 of the way through this second round, and Pietrzak is blowing a bit. And you show Soldic an inch, and that's what happens. Soldic will look to finish this. He goes the knee strikes. There was a right hand. Soldic will now start to pile on the pain. He stands up. He wants a clean finish. Pietrzak in trouble there. Well, the danger of the rocks has passed, but he's still tied to the mast, Pietrzak. Really, is this a shipwreck on its way down? Or is Pietrzak still in this? Got just over a minute left in the second.
He may have a lifeboat left, Will. I'm telling you, that was a desperation takedown, but he's back on his feet. I mean, he has proven to be so durable. I mean, he's clearly a world-class athlete, and that's transitioned to the way he's gone into MMA from wrestling. But he has eaten some seriously heavy shots so far from Soldic. Popping jab to a left. This is bad. Soldic can put the pressure on here. He can finish this fight.
Yeah, Soldic senses he can finish this cleanly, and he's looking for the ultimate aesthetic shot. He wants this to be clean. He doesn't want it to be scrappy. But still, Pietrzak, that left hand cubbing away like a lion's paw, causing problems. There's a big left hand there from Soldic. Oh, I have to say, Pietrzak got a chin like Mount Rushmore.
I cannot believe the level of punishment that he has soaked up throughout these last 2 rounds. It looks like he might have a little bit of a cut over the right eye. Soldic's going to go for one more big one here. Give a lot of credit to Pietrzak. He is such a strong guy in those grappling positions. I mean, I've watched some of his early fights. One of them was so memorable. He caught a grappling position and literally front headlocked the guy, threw him over his back and put him out cold. So a lot of credit to Soldic to be able to stand with confidence here in these trades and nullify the takedown. Look at that, Soldic just digs through the underhook and just pushes away. The left hand has been the major factor in this fight. I'd like to see him go for a head kick. I mean, yeah, he's finding headspace with these punches, but he hasn't been able to put Pietrzak out of there just yet. Mix it up a little bit, maybe go for some knees or some high kicks, I think would be smart.
Third and final round. Roberto Soldic, the RoboCop, takes on Michal Pietrzak, the grappler, the wrestler, the serial strangler, the man who is still in front of him against all the odds. Took this fight at short notice. Now, will Soldic go Rambo here and all out to finish this in the third? That side oblique kick causing problems, and the left hand still clubbing away there like a little tiger cub, causing problems for Soldic. Soldic is almost mesmerized by it. And, well, Pietrzak has got some more gas in the tank. Whether he's got another 5 minutes worth, I don't know. But it's the third and final round. Chris, how do you think this is going to go? Do you think Pietrzak can survive?
You know, I wouldn't have thought that we would be this far into this fight with the kind of significant strikes that Soldic has landed. But hey, I've been wrong several times tonight.
But hey, man, you're putting it out there, and so have I, and it's been so hard to call. I'm looking at Pietrzak, and I wouldn't say he looked lemon fresh, but there's definitely some more gas in the tank. I think he might survive. But that's never a good thing to say about a fighter, is it? You know, you're looking for him to win. But it is Roberto Soldic. Well, there's a lot of moving parts in that ring there, and Soldic hasn't been that creative, if I'm honest with you. He's not in there painting the Sistine Chapel, is he? He's painting the garden fence. You know, it's meat and two veg, kicks and punches and what have you. You'd expect more from him, more in the arsenal, maybe a tapestry, a smorgasbord of something different. All he's looking to do is put this guy away. But like I say, the round is young.
Yeah, I completely agree with that assessment. He's kind of just been turning the bulldozer on and trying to go straight down the middle, and I think that can work. But Pietrzak has weathered the storm. So 10 minutes in, I mean, I want to see him kind of stick and move a little bit more, set up those kicks. The patience is important. I think that's been a good thing in this fight. The takedown defense has also been completely on point. But Pietrzak is a tough, tough guy.
You know, there's an old thing in theatre, especially in pantomime. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no, he didn't. And Roberto Soldic is coming with the same thing every time. And after twice, you'd think that would be the switch-up. You know, but everyone that fights Soldic knows he's coming to tuck them away. And Pietrzak has not allowed him to do that. I mean, that's the skill here tonight. You know, and I've often said that, you know, you can come here with big guns, you can come here with big quads, but the most important muscle in a fight is between your ears. And Pietrzak, for what it's worth, has flexed that tonight. A little bit of brain power has gone into this because Soldic cannot put him away. And I think this left hand is causing all kinds of problems for Soldic.
I also have to say that Pietrzak has a heck of a chin, too, so you can talk about the muscle memory, but there's also more to that equation. Soldic is definitely throwing some great shots, and you got to give credit to him as well for backing off and realizing he's ahead in this fight, not making any major mistakes. I mean, the worst thing you could do at this point would be to concede position by being reckless.
We are halfway through the third and final round. Roberto Soldic hasn't landed a punch here. I mean, we came to this bout and I was more excited than my wedding night. And I'm looking at this now and it's just very, very scrappy. Soldic petrified at going to the mat there. And I think his corner have just said to him, you've done enough now, just keep out of trouble. And I don't think Soldic is going to expose himself.
I think it's smart, though. You've got to have enough energy to deal with that kind of explosive takedown power. So Soldic is fighting intelligently in a sense that he's won the rounds. He's been dominant in this fight. And he'll be happy to walk away after having accepted a very risky opponent. On 4 days' notice, I might add.
Yeah. Well, the champion winding down the clock here, realizing he probably can't do what it is that he does. And that's a psychological exposure to any future opponents. A little bit of desperation with the spinning back fist. And look at Pietrzak teeing up Soldic. Pietrzak putting that left hand on Soldic's forehead to land the right. What a turn of events here. Soldic needs to wake up and smell the coffee. Buckle up, funsters. We could be in for a real upset here tonight. Well, maybe not. 10-second clap up. Soldic on his bike. He's in complete reverse gear here. Not enough time for Pietrzak, but what an outing. Goes for the takedown, and there's the ball! Up. You have to big it up to the Polish fighter. What happened here? Oh my goodness me. That was like reading Winnie the Pooh with no honey. What an upset. Soldic came to this. Did he not think that this was going to be a shift that he'd have to put in? Well, we don't know how this is going to go, but I'm personally going to have words with him. Chris, what do you say?
You know, for sure, obviously a win for Soldic. I think he did a lot of the right things in this fight in the sense that he went out there, put the power on Pietrzak and tried to punish the takedown defense. Or, excuse me, punish off the takedown defense in the sense that he would defend the takedown and then go right back to it, stand in his face. Credit to Pietrzak, though. He didn't tire, I think, as much as Soldic expected him to be, and moreover, he did not wilt under the power, as many of Soldic's opponents have previously. Yeah, he walked on to some big counter shots, but hey, Soldic wasn't able to fell the tree in the end.
Do you know what was pivotal in this fight for me, Chris? The way this left hand kept doing this, and Soldic kept following it. It was like a cobra swaying in front of him. He just kept doing this the whole time, and Soldic was just mesmerized by it. He just wasn't able to put the combos on. Let's get the result. It's official. We know Soldic has done it, but what a night out for Pietrzak, eh?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the unanimous decision. Your winner is the Robocop, Roberto Soldic.
Well, the welterweight champion has fought off what was a huge danger in the shape and form of Michal Pietrzak. No two ways about it. A win's a win, and there were a couple of scary moments there for the champ, but he composed himself. But you've got to big it up for Pietrzak. That's got to be a fighter to watch in the weight in KSW.
Definitely, I can't wait to have him back. I think there's a lot of good matchups for him here. I'd love to see him with a full training camp. He's a very talented athlete, and you've got to give credit to both guys in different ways. For Soldic, though, this was a really risky fight. He had to kind of change up who he was prepared to deal with on a very short notice, and more importantly, has a lot of pressure. He's one of the biggest stars in this organization right now. KSW obviously has a big following from his home country, a big following for Soldic. He's a champion. This was obviously a non-title fight, but he was unwilling to answer any questions about anything other than this fight. That shows you how focused he is. He's only 24, too. A lot of people forget that. As dominant as he's been, he's got a long road and a promising future.
Well, we're going to have a word with Roberto Soldic.
KSW Championship with another win. Good evening, London.
A lot of respect because he accepted me for this. So good fighter. I think if that fight 5 rounds, he will be gone.
He says amazing respect, amazing heart for Michal. He only stepped up 4 days before the gala. Roberto says that he's full of respect. It's a hard fight, and he's sure that if it was the championship fight scheduled for five rounds, he would have ended on the mat.
Sometimes, but for me, most important is win. It doesn't matter how submission, KO, or the point. So very important for me win. So I take this guy serious. I take time because I don't have time to preparation for this guy. So I take my time, easy. So I just got to win. Thanks God.